your mat. Today we are going to start in a comfortable seat. So you can choose to sit right on your mat, or if it feels more comfortable to lift up those sit bones on either a blanket or blocks, feel free to go there. Hands are going to rest comfortably on the knees or thighs, elbows nice and heavy. Begin to lengthen up through the crown of the head, through the spine, softening through the shoulders, maybe closing the eyes. And we'll take a few moments here just to welcome our bodies or minds to the practice. Allow ourselves to focus on the inhale and the exhale and stay connected to the present moment through the rest of practice, which is no easy task. Know that when your mind does wander, you can always come back to the breath. One more big breath in and out here. And then slowly taking the arms all the way out and up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out and up. Hands to heart center. One more just like that, arms out and up. This time keep them up, interlace fingers, flip the palms towards the ceiling, keep the sit bones connected, and start drawing halos up over your head. So it's a full rib cage movement here, not just the arms. One more here, and then take it the opposite direction. Good, pause. Take the arms out nice and wide. And then make fists with your hands. Roll those wrists. Use the hands, the wrists a lot. Typing, texting, cooking, all the things. You don't often remember to stretch them out. Give them a little love. Good, and then shake out the hands, bring them down. Nice and easy side bends here to begin. So right hand out to the right, big sweep of the left arm, keep rooting down through that left sit bone. Lift up and over, other side. Come back to center, twist. So taking the left hand over to the right knee, right hand behind you. Every inhale, you find a little more length. With every exhale, you gently twist a little more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Now we're going to take this right hand up and over so that it crosses over the left as you face center. Elbows crossed. Now take your eagle arms. Either taking that second bind so palms meet, or grabbing onto opposite shoulders. Whichever one works for you is great. And make sure that you're adding a little resistance here. So imagine you were spreading the elbows open, and that creates some broadening in the upper back. Keep hands away from the face, elbows about shoulder level. Good. Take the arms all the way out to the sides. Interlace hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then back down as you lift the chest, fists down. And then release. Twist on the other side. So this time, the right hand over to the left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist. One more. And twist. Good. Now taking that left arm up and over so that it crosses over the right. Eagle arms on this side. Again, making sure those elbows stay lifted to about shoulder level. Hands away from the face. Resistance between the elbows to help you broaden through the upper back. Sit bones are still rooting down, crown of the head is still lifting up. Good. Release the arms out, out, out to the sides. Big stretch through the front of the body, and then interlace hands behind the back. Once again, lift the shoulders up and then roll them down as you squeeze shoulder blades and elbows. Little heart opener. Bring those hands back to rest on your knees, and actually switch the cross of your ankles. All right, and then come back to rest hands on knees. Working with just the head and neck here, so everything else stays steady. Drop the chin down to your chest. Inhale the right ear to the right shoulder, and then drop the chin back down. Left ear to left shoulder, chin back down. Twice more on each side. Moving with your breath, noticing every little sensation that comes along with the movement. Come back to a nice neutral position here. And last thing we'll do seated is just some shoulder rolls. Shoulders up and back. And then take them the opposite direction. All right, we're ready to transition onto all fours. So go ahead and make your way there. Just checking, oh yeah. All right, just checking that this thing was on. I actually recorded an entire 35-minute class without the camera on a few minutes ago, so just checking. All right, shoulders stacked over the wrists, open the fingers nice and wide, hips over the knees. I like the toes tucked under. You start opening up through the soles of the feet, but if you prefer to untuck, that's fine too. All right, cat-cows. Inhale, drop belly, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, drop belly, look up. Exhale, round. One more. And round. Come back to neutral. We're going to extend the right foot back, but keep the toes connected to the mat. And then we're going to start pumping that right heel back and forth. Keep length in the spine, length in the back of the neck, so the gaze is forward and down. And just rock back and forth here, getting a little more stretch through the right calf. Good, and once we pause, we're going to take this to a supported side plank. You might need to readjust a little bit to support yourself. Right arm reaches high, and then maybe reaches up over the right ear for more length. Beautiful. And then sweep it all the way back down. Right leg stays extended, and now we lift it up off the mat. Really engage the core here. Send the left hand forward, left thumb points up. Inhale, reach out in opposite directions. Exhale, elbow to knee around the spine. Inhale, sweep it out. Exhale, pull it in. One more, reach it out. Hug it in. Good. Come back to your tabletop, and then take that same right leg, but this time extend it out to the side. Plant your foot down so the toes are facing the same direction as your fingers. If they stay pointing out, you might come into an accidental straddle. That is a thing, I promise, and I don't think you're gonna like it. All right, so from here, we'll funky thread the needle. We're gonna take the right hand up, and on the exhale, thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale, thread through. One more. Good, and thread it through. Come back to your hands on the mat, and then maybe lower down to forearms to deepen this stretch here through the inner seam of your right leg. Start walking your hands closer towards you Lifting up for gate pose. So once you've got your length here, begin to slide down through the right leg, sweeping the left arm up and over. Big side stretch here. Breathe. Come back to center. Tuck that right knee back to where it was. And take yourself back to your tabletop. All right, let's give the knees a little break here. So lifting up and back into downward facing dog before the other side. Bending one knee and then the other, shaking that tail, shaking that head. Any movement that feels good here, take it. And don't forget about the breath. Always working to move stale energy out and bring new light in. All right, pausing here, bend both knees, send the belly even closer to the thighs, lengthen through the spine, big breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Bend those knees and find your tabletop. We're going to stretch out the left leg here, tucking those toes under, touching the mat, and begin to rock back and forth here. Again, keep your gaze forward and down so the back of the neck stays long. You're not looking down at the knees or cranking the chin up. Good. Pausing here, rolling your heel down, maybe making some adjustments here for your supported side plank. Sending the left hand up towards the ceiling and then maybe up over the left ear. Whew, big stretch for me on this side. My left is always a little tighter because that's where I kind of carry my kiddo so I can do stuff with my right hand. All right, and then coming back to your mat, keeping the left leg back. Now lifting it up. Toes are still flexing down towards the mat. Right hand reaches forward, thumb points up. Big breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee, round the spine. Inhale, reach it out, strong core. Exhale, bring it in. Last one, out. And in. You got it. Come back to your tabletop. Maybe readjust, rearrange. And then take that same left leg, but out to the left, planting the full foot down, toes pointing forward. Thread the needle with the left arm. So reach the left arm up and thread it through. And we're trying to keep the hips more or less even. Might move a little bit. I'm sure mine are. But we really want to be emphasizing that rotation of the spine. Last one here. Good. Hands down, you can choose to stay here or lower down to deepen that stretch. Give yourself a few breaths. It's a great place to use blocks too, to support your forehead or your forearms. And then walk the hands towards you, lifting up through the crown of the head. And when you're ready, sliding down, gate pose. Big reach with that right arm. Coming back to center, tucking that left knee next to the right. Tabletop, take it right into downward facing dog here. All right, pedaling out through the feet. Finding stillness, really sending those hips up and back. This time look forward and make your way to the top of your mat. It can be as many little steps or one big step or a hop forward. Feet are hip width distance. Melt the belly to the thighs, so bend the knees generously. Grab onto opposite elbows and maybe add that little sway side to side. Good. Release the fingertips down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Grab onto that left wrist and take a side bend to the right. Reach it back up, switch sides. Bending over towards the left. And center, melted forward, forward fold. All right, from here, we're gonna widen the stance of the feet. So toe heel the feet open towards the edges of the mat, and then take your toes out about 45 degrees. Going down into our yogic squat. You can absolutely use a block here to support you, or maybe a rolled up blanket under the heels if they don't quite touch down. Hands to heart, gently opening through the inner thighs, using those elbows to open the knees. Go in for a nice flat spine and a lifted heart. And then taking a twist here. So left hand out in front of the left foot, following that diagonal, that same line with the right arm, reaching it up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Other side. So right hand in front of the right foot. And then with the left hand tracing that line, reaching it all the way up in a diagonal to the left. Good. And then coming back down, you've got two options. We're going to eventually land in high plank. You can step it back, or if you're feeling jazzy here, we're going to lift the heels, engage the core, make sure your elbows are always bent. And then jump back. Good. So we landed in our chaturanga. You can move through this flow, upward facing dog and down dog. Or for this one or any other flow, you're welcome to take it down to the knees, cobra, and then down dog. Take another big breath in and out. And on the next inhale, sweep that right leg up and back. Now we're gonna bend the knee and open up scorpion tail. Totally optional, keep the shoulder squared if you took this. Now draw the right knee to the right elbow. Shift your whole body forward so you're really getting that core working. And then send it straight back. Knee to nose, round the spine to create room and step your foot forward. High lunge here. So sweeping it up, softening through the shoulders. Another big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in. Open up warrior two. Dancing warrior, one of my favorites. So flip that front palm. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended. One more. Good. Hold your extended side angle here, really opening up through the heart by rolling that left shoulder slightly back. Then find your warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down towards your mat. Step back with your right foot to a plank with your feet together. We're going to side plank. So once you've got that strong foundation, long line, drop both heels to the right and sweep the left arm up. You can absolutely drop that right knee down for a little more support. Come back to your high plank, and then you choose if or how you flow through. So you can take, like I said, chaturanga to up dog, downward facing dog, or you can lower all the way down for cobra. And then down dog. All right, left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open the hips. Scorpion tail here, totally optional. Draw the left knee in towards the left elbow as you shift forward. Hug that belly button in. Sweep it all the way up and back. Knee to nose. Hug in, hug in, hug in. Step it through. Good. High lunge. Soften through the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Open up warrior two. Flip that front palm, dancing warrior. Inhale, sweep it up and back. Exhale, extended. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, extended. You got it. Just one more here, keeping the bend in that left knee. And then settle in for just 2 to 3 breaths here in your extended side angle. Make sure you've got weight on both feet. Big open heart. Come back to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down towards the earth, feet together. And then when you're ready, roll those heels towards your left for a side plank. Again, totally cool to drop that left knee down. Good. Come back to your high plank. From here, we're all going to widen the knees and sink back for a child's pose. Walk the hands to the right, as far to the right as possible, but keep pressing back and down with that left sit bone. Back to center. Other side. Back to center. Take your time. Let's meet in downward facing dog. So I'm going to move through table first, rearrange the body, and then lift the hips up and back. Right leg up and back again. Bend the knee, open through the hip option. Draw the right knee in towards the right elbow. Send it high. Knee to nose, hug it in, step it forward, moving a little faster through the transition. High lunge right into warrior two. Flip that front palm, this time as you reverse, straighten through the right leg. Moving to Trikonasana here, so we're reaching forward with the right fingertips tilting down. A block can be super handy here. If you don't have one, make sure you're not putting too much pressure on that right shin. We don't want to lock the knee. And reaching up through the left hand so that it isn't just a downward energy we're feeling in this shape. Good. Soften a little through that right knee. Wide-legged forward fold here. Pivot the right foot parallel to the left. Oh, love this pose. Hang here. Quite literally, hang here. And you can choose to bend one knee and then the other, or just find stillness. All right. Decide which one your right foot is, or the top of your mat, and walk there. Good. Step it back, feet together. Roll to the right side plank. Coming back. Take your flow or move right into down dog. And then let's go with the left. Left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open through the hip, square the shoulders. Left knee in towards the left elbow. Hug. Good. Send it back. Knee to nose. Hug it in. Step it forward. High lunge. Once you find your balance, your foundation, open up warrior two. Flip front palm, reverse the warrior. Begin to straighten through that left leg. Find triangle pose here. Again, a block, great idea. Lifting up through the right hand. And breathe. Slowly transition to your wide-legged forward fold. And then relax here. Again, choosing to take any movement that you'd like. You can bend the knees. You can come to a flat back and release. You can shake the head and neck. Good, and from here, we're going to walk back towards that left foot, framing that front foot. This time we're going to step it forward. Forward fold at the top of your mat. And once again, widen those feet. Sink down into Malasana. Hands to heart. Taking those twists one more time. Left hand in front of the left foot. Reach up with the right. And coming back down, other side. And coming back down, and then the most fanciest transition ever, we're gonna plop down. Good, and we're gonna roll all the way onto our backs here. Hug the knees in towards your chest, give yourself a nice squeeze here, and rock side to side. gonna plant those feet down and take a thread the needle with the leg. So taking that right ankle over the left knee, take some circles here with the right ankle before we bring it up, opposite direction. And then if you'd like to deepen the stretch in your hips, bring the knees up, interlace hands behind the left thigh. Flex through both of your toes or feet. Keep relaxing through the shoulder blades. The back of the head stays connected to the mat. And gently release that. Take that right leg and extend it all the way up. Whew, nice big stretch. And then bend it back down. Other side, left ankle over the right knee, creating that figure four, taking some circles here. Opposite direction. And then decide if you want to deepen the stretch by bringing the knees in towards you, interlacing hands behind the right thigh, flexing through the feet, and again, softening through the upper body. Release the hands, bring your right foot down, kick up through the left, and then bend your knee, bring it back down. Now widen your stance. Knees are gonna remain bent. You're just taking the feet out to the sides, to the edges of your mat, and let both knees drop to the right. So you'll notice that as the knees kind of open up, your left knee's pointing more forward, and you're getting a big old stretch here through that left thigh, or at least I do. Slowly making your way back to center and dropping over to the other side. Come back to center. Walk those feet back in towards each other. Hug the knees in, and then decide if you want to just grab the shins again or grab your big toes and maybe go into a happy baby, taking the knees out to the sides. Soles of the feet point towards the ceilings. You can rock here side to side. And then if there's any other movement you'd like to round out your practice, go there. If you're ready for Shavasana, you can join me taking the knees in and then extending the legs out. I want to take up room here, so allow the toes to roll open, the shoulder blades to melt as the arms roll open, palms face up in a gesture of receiving all the benefits of your practice. And Shavasana is not the same as doing nothing. Shavasana is actually a pose and a very, very important one. We move and we breathe and we shake the energy and prana just to get to this point where we can lay in stillness, slow down the breath, slow down the thoughts, and remain super connected to the present moment and to the core of our being. Shavasana is the goal. So melt, 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 releasing all effort, surrendering to gravity, letting go. And feel free to stay here as long as you can. If you've got to join the rest of the world, then you can start bringing some gentle movement to the body, wiggling fingers, toes, rocking the head side to side. Taking the arms up and over. And with as little effort as possible, rolling to your right or left side. Bringing those knees slightly in. Resting here. Slowly coming back to that comfortable seat, crossing the ankles, rooting down through the sit bones, and lengthening up through the crown of the head. Noticing all the space you've created in the body, hopefully in the mind as well, with your practice. Hands come together to heart. Thank you all so much for joining me on your mat today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Continue kicking butt. You've got this, and I will see you soon. Namaste.